John Crane Field and the OU Soccer Complex in Norman. It's Sooner Soccer on an overcast and somewhat cool Sunday afternoon. The Oklahoma Sooners coming off a 4-1 win over San Francisco right here on Friday night. Host the Pac-12's Cal Golden Bears, who were coming off a loss in Stillwater 2 days ago. Alongside former Sooner Molly Ritchie, I'm Chad McKee. The Sooners strung together their best 90 minutes of soccer in that win back on Friday night. Cal, on the other hand, comes in having lost 2 straight. They've struggled with a couple of injuries. So where are these two clubs coming in?
Right. Well, OU has gotten healthier. And on Friday, we talked about how the Sooners have to start putting the pieces together. And then on Friday night, the Sooners did just that with a 4-1 win over San Francisco. So if you're the Sooners, today you have to not take any steps back and continue to build off of that momentum from Friday night. And then for Cal, they have 5 freshmen in their starting lineup who are still trying to learn what it takes to compete at this level. So it'll be interesting to see how these freshmen respond to the adversity today.
These two teams played out in Berkeley a year ago. Cal won that game 2-0, but the Sooners were down a player for the final 79 minutes of that contest. We're back to take a look at the starting lineups and kick this one off. You're watching Sooner Soccer presented by Bud Light.
At AT&T Innovations, we give you more for your thing. Here, we're adding TV and movies from our unlimited plan to the powerful new Samsung Galaxy Note 9. The perfect device for entertainment and productivity.
So it's essentially the Ed Helms of devices.
How so?
Well, he's both very entertaining and very productive.
You think?
Yeah, I do, and that's my completely unbiased opinion.
Buy a Galaxy Note 9 and get one 75% off. More for your thing. That's our thing.
John Crane Field on a pleasant Sunday afternoon. It's overcast, but we do not have any rain. This field is in excellent playing condition for Matt Potter and his Sooners. And Matt Potter saying of the win on Friday night for his team, having players who had the ability to come back from injury allowed his team to share the wealth in terms of minutes played and the responsibility of the team's performance, and it was an excellent performance. And they got some players healthy who will also be in the lineup today, including Olivia Smith and Lauren Havala. They were back on Friday night. Ivana Rivas scored a pair of goals, and it was a 9-save night for McKinley Crone in goal. She leads the Big 12 Conference with now 34 saves and was just sensational back on Friday. For Cal, Neil McGuire is the all-time wins leader in Cal women's soccer history. They've made 12 consecutive NCAA tournament appearances and have had 4 straight seasons of 13-plus wins. And his lineup features Miranda Nild, who has 10 career goals, including the game winner between these two teams a season ago. Junior forward Abby Kim was on the roster for the U.S. Under-20 national team at the Under-20 FIFA World Cup. And the keeper today will be Amanda Zodikoff, who made her first career start back on Friday at Oklahoma State. She makes her second career start today. In fact, there are 2 other players. Paige Mateer, she will make her first start today, as will Devin Lozano. And before we get this thing started, let's check in down on the field with the 3rd member of our crew, Meg McDonald. Hi, Meg.
Hey, Chad, one of the biggest storylines heading into the weekend for the Sooners actually took place last Friday at Texas A&M, where the Sooners went up 1-0 at halftime. The OU coaching staff actually said that was the best half that they had seen from OU this entire season. And I caught up with keeper coach Paul Hart, and he said that the Sooners just have to play a full 90 like they did in that first half last weekend, and that just takes discipline and belief in themselves. And that's exactly what they did on Friday night versus San Francisco, which is actually Paul Hart's former school. When he was there last season, that team, they beat Cal for the first time in 22 years, and he's looking to pick up where he left off from here today.
Yeah, and he got a win over his former school, San Francisco, back on Friday night. Maybe another one over Cal today. Ivana Rivas, a huge evening back on Friday. The braces, they say. 2 goals in that game. Second Sooner to have 2 goals in a game this season. And she's our player to watch today. But what a story she has been. She has forced this coaching staff to keep her in the lineup. Why has she done that, Molly?
Well, I like Rivas because when she gets the ball, she knows exactly what she wants to do with it every time. And she wants to score. And she expects to score. And I think that mindset is what makes her the most dangerous player on the field today.
And this Cal program, so good under Neil McGuire. He has made 12 straight NCAA tournament appearances. The program with 14 straight overall. And you don't ever use the term rebuilding, but they lost 7 players to graduation, including 6 who signed professional contracts.
Wow, that is completely outstanding. Anytime you lose that kind of a class, that next season you're gonna face somewhat of a rebuilding stage. So great to see so many freshmen taking the reins, though, and interesting to see how they respond to the adversity that they've been faced with today.
And a couple of All-Americans lost in the keeper Emily Boyd and Indigo Gibson, both to graduation for Cal. 3 players who are playing Champions League soccer off of last year's roster, but they just reload at Cal with this huge freshman class, many of whom are playing today. As you said, 5 freshmen in the starting lineup for the Golden Bears today.
They're in such a great position being out in California. There's so many good players out on the West Coast. It's just unbelievable.
Lozano able to fend that one away from Haley Davidson of the Sooners. Out of bounds it is. And Oklahoma gets another throw in. Jogging up to take the throw in on the near side is Olivia Smith. Boy, was good to get her back in the lineup for the Sooners back on Friday. She was on assignment with the English national team.
I think having Smith back really has allowed the back line to be a lot more confident. She's a natural outside back, and so she's really composed with where she is. And so I think for Jordan Hobart and Paige Welch, it's been great to have her back on the field.
Abby Kim sprinting up the right sideline on her dribble, plays it back to Devin Lozano, the freshman, making her first career start in just her 5th game this season for Cal. Now onto the foot of the other first-time starter, Mateer, who loses that one to the Sooners' Arissa McMahon. Out toward midfield it comes, down on the foot of Anya Kohler, junior from Oceanside, California, who missed last weekend for Cal, but is back in the lineup both Friday night and here today. And now Kaylee Dow runs through to intercept a pass for the Sooners. Back for Emma Ledbetter. Ledbetter trying to send it out toward midfield, but it ricochets back to Jordan Hobart. Now to midfield and Rivas. A one-touch pass to McMahon, who tries to send one deep forward for Davidson, but out to get it is the keeper Zodikoff. So Zodikoff made her first career start for Cal back on Friday up in Stillwater. Gave up 3 goals and had 4 saves. She actually punched one into the Golden Bears' own goal. On the attack comes Mateer. Tries to fan it out wide for Kim. The Sooners are there, and it's out of bounds. It'll be an early goal kick for the Golden Bears as we jump into Molly's Keys, presented by Riverwind Resort. Still the one. Molly, what do you have today?
First off, I think maintaining possession will be important today, especially on a Sunday when the teams are playing on worn-out legs. You want to always let the ball do as much work as possible, and that means in order for that to happen, there's got to be a lot of movement off the ball. So players have to not be so reactionary, but be proactive in getting open sooner rather than later so that there's open players to play to. And then secondly, once you have established that possession in the attacking half, exploit the space out wide. This Cal team has been known to play with only 3 in the back line a couple of times, and so anytime there's only 3 in the back line, there's going to be a lot of space out wide for the Sooners to attack, which is a good situation for the Sooners because their team is really built like that with players like Haley Davidson and Erica Yost and even O'Donnell. They like to go wide, keep the ball out wide, and then get a cross in.
Sooner foul about 35 feet away from the Oklahoma goal as this one is whistled against Lauren Havala, and it'll be a Cal free kick. Our referee today is Lance Van Heetsma, whistling the first foul of this game. And Miranda Nilde will take the free kick. She scored in the meeting between these two teams a year ago. That's 7 goals last year for the Golden Bears. And she will step into this free kick about 15 feet outside the Sooners' 18 box. Oklahoma sets up a line of 3 defenders right at the top of the 18 box. This one's sent across to the left side and rolling out to the far corner. Anya Kohler could not quite get her head on it. Cal keeps possession. They'll reset out near midfield on the foot of Adu.
The Sooners have gotten a lot better since the beginning of the season defending on set pieces, and that was actually one of the things I was talking to with Dow before the game. Is something they've been focusing on is knowing your role on set pieces. And they have Crone back there and Hobart and Welch, who are kind of the vocal leaders on the team that assign the players that need to be man-marked, that the team has scouted and know that are dangerous in the box. So kudos to the Sooners for improving on that aspect of their game on set pieces.
Kayla Fong got surrounded and then committed a foul. So the Sooners get a free kick from the keeper, McKinley Crone. She drives it across midfield, and it is headed out of bounds by the Sooners. A Cal throw-in coming across midfield on the Sooner side. Devin Lozano picks it up, and Lance Van Hayesmith says, no, move back a little further before you take this throw-in. She charges forward and drops it in at the feet of Fong. And sent toward the Sooner 18 box, down to the chest of Nile, who tries to turn, but there are two Sooners there. Nile circles back and finds Fong outside the 18 box, back into Nile. The shot blocked by Crone, who saves a goal. Oh, McKinley Crone again. She has back-to-back 9 save games. That was just terrific because Fong had it right on her foot with the goal in front of her.
Right. I mean, just another wonderful save for Crone to add to the list, and really an excellent play by Fong and Nile there. They do a little 1-2 combination, and Crone just comes up so big here with that save. And then Hobart to follow in on the ball. Great awareness.
So Fong able to feed Nile, who had her shot blocked by Crone, and the Sooners go the other way. McMahon at midfield, over toward Dow, but too far out of her grasp. And taken in by Kim. Here comes Kim on the attack up the right flank. Met by the Sooners, Olivia Smith. Kim all the way to the end line, and it rolls out of bounds. Nicely defended there by Smith.
Right, and that's why she's so important. She's such an important piece to have on the back line, as she's so aware with where she is. She shows Kim, she keeps her wide and forces her up against the sideline, and then lets the ball, as soon as Kim takes a touch, she lets it roll out of bounds, and she shields her body so that she can't get to it.
So Crone will take a Sooner goal kick. Such a strong foot headed forward by Dow all the way back near the 18 box of Cal. That header forces Cal's Abina Adu to just play the ball out of bounds, and the Sooners get a throw in. A long goal kick, and then the head of Dow nearly producing a chance for the Sooners. Smith a little short with her throw in, but Havala comes to get it. Funnels it out wide left. Now it's Davidson trying to send one across, but it's deflected. Back it comes to Lozano of Cal. Lozano tried to play it forward, but Dow is there to intercept for the Sooners. And Dow sends it through a pair of defenders. It finds the foot of Havala. Now the Sooners lose it for just a second, but Paige Welch is there to drive it back toward the Cal side. This one saved from going out of bounds by Kim, who starts the Cal attack. No score, 36:45 remaining in the opening half. Kim able to shield the ball from Dow. Now Dow takes it from her. Kim goes down, wanted a foul call, but none forthcoming. Sooners have it. Hobart here midfield. Plays it forward to Havala. Havala lost it. Taken by Kohler. And now Kim up to get it for Cal. Most of the activity in this game has been in the midfield. Just 1 or 2 attack chances for each team.
It looks like Sooners, they haven't established possession yet, but they are definitely working on that, establishing it in the attacking half.
Kayla Fong intercepts a pass for Cal at midfield. Sweeps it across to Kim. Kim waiting on attackers to join her. Now she drops it back for Lozano. Cal works it all the way back across the field. And Christina O'Donnell is called for a foul. A little too aggressive with Caroline Clark there. The Bears will take a free kick on the Sooner side of midfield. And slipping down is Kohler. She loses it to Lauren Havala. Havala Trying to send it wide to the right side for O'Donnell, but it's way wide and out of bounds. Sooners having a little trouble connecting more than one pass at a time right now. McMahon trying to chase one down with Rivas running toward the far corner, and it's kicked out by the Golden Bears. Sooners will get a throw in deep in Cal territory. You can see the speed that Rivas has that'll pose problems. Now Ledbetter will jog up and take a throw in on the far side for Oklahoma. Ledbetter sends it across toward the top of the goal box, headed down by Adu. Out it comes to O'Donnell, and O'Donnell has it knocked out of bounds off of her on the end line for a Cal goal kick.
And potentially a dangerous opportunity for the Sooners there. I think O'Donnell hangs onto the ball a little bit too long. I would have liked to have seen her cross that ball on her first touch, but still a good effort by O'Donnell to start the Sooner attack.
11 minutes in here in Norman, the Sooners and the Cal Golden Bears. Oklahoma won here 4-1 against another West Coast team, San Francisco, on Friday night. Cal lost in Stillwater to Oklahoma State Friday. Sooners with an attack. Davidson sends it toward the keeper on the ground, and it's picked up by Zodikov. So Haley Davidson able to turn inside a defender. Zodikov sends it out to midfield. Headed down by Kaylee Dow. And a foul call against, I believe, Rivas.
I think they called a handball on Rivas.
Okay. So that creates a free kick for Cal. Temperature is around 65, 70 degrees, but we've got a little cool north breeze. It's almost chilly.
And the weather for soccer, it doesn't get much better than this.
Cal mounting an attack up the left flank, and an offsides call. So the attack a little too aggressive, and it looks like it was Sydney Collins called for being offsides over on the far side. It's always funny. We have weather conditions, and you think about 2 Saturdays or 2 Sundays ago when Gonzaga was here, and we had heat exhaustion for some players, and now we have sweatshirts.
I know Oklahoma is just, it's one of those states where you never know what to expect from the weather, but you prepare for the worst. So you're always preparing for that 90-degree heat, 100-degree heat, but then you get lucky with some of these days thrown in, and it's just 70 degrees, and you're hardly breaking a sweat.
And we were talking with Neil McGuire, the Cal coach, and he said, yeah, we were fully expecting to arrive in Oklahoma and see what Gonzaga saw 2 weeks ago, and the players got off the airplane bound for Stillwater and said, you know, this isn't too bad at all. More like California. Dow gets an attack, stopped at the 18 box, tries to send one toward the goal, but it's deflected. Cleared by the Golden Bears, but right there's Paige Welch at midfield for the Sooners. She'll drive one up the left side into the 18 box. Down to the foot of Davidson, who's called for being offside just barely, as she was past Devin Lozano by maybe a foot.
And this is really what the Sooners are looking to do. Paige Welch gets her head up, and she sees Davidson out wide, and they're trying to exploit those wide areas. So they want Davidson to stay out wide and kind of keep that space out there so that she can then attack inside and try to get a shot off, get a cross off. So it was a good recognition on Welch's part to see Davidson.
So the Sooners get a free kick here. McMahon will take it. About 40 feet from the goal. McMahon for the Sooners. Oklahoma circles through in the 18 box. It's a high free kick headed toward the far corner. Jordan Hobart trying to track it down for the Sooners. She's nudged off the ball. 2 players go down. Hobart retrieves it. Trying to kick it off a Golden Bear. Instead it comes out to Christina O'Donnell. O'Donnell keeps it on her foot. Sooners regroup with Paige Welch near midfield. Across to Smith. She'll drive it up the left flank. Down it comes to Davidson, who sends it in. And it's deflected back out by the Golden Bears' Sydney Collins. Sooners retrieve it, though. And at midfield, turning is Niled for Cal. Niled gets a return pass on the Sooner side. And now Havala comes up and steals it. Just took it away from Lozano. Havala into the right corner for Rivas. Rivas trying to stop and start, and then has it kicked away from her out of bounds. Sooners starting to gain a little bit of control of this one, Molly.
I definitely think that the tone of the game has shifted a little bit. At first, it looked like Cal was really controlling and moving forward with the ball, but the Sooners have collected themselves. They're connecting passes. They're starting to defend better, and when they win the ball back on defense, they're finding that outlet player, and it's allowing the transition from defense to the attack to go a lot smoother.
Sooners commit a foul. Their 4th so far. Now about 15.5 minutes into this one. No score between the Sooners and the Cal Golden Bears. At midfield, Jordan Hobart starts the Sooner attack. She finds Havala in the midfield. Now Havala regroups, finds Rivas. Rivas trying to drop it off for Dow, but taken away by Cal. Emma Weston got it. And the Bears regroup. Ledbetter races in to steal a Cal pass. An attack for the Sooners.
And a great job by Ledbetter to anticipate that ball coming in. She continues to do so well at that outside back position, and I think it's just the more she plays it, the more comfortable that she's become.
O'Donnell works around a defender, sends one toward the goal, and leaping to spear it is Zodakov. An aggressive attack from the right flank by Christina O'Donnell. Amanda Zodakov up to the task. Cal has also played another freshman, Olivia Sakani, in goal. A couple of freshmen, which has made it a little bit challenging for Neil McGuire. They had an All-American keeper in Emily Boyd, who graduated. Jordan Hobart kicks the ball out of bounds at midfield, stopping a Cal attack. Now the Golden Bears will throw it in.
A great decision by Hobart to stay on top of that attacker and not let her turn. I think that's really strategic because Cal has some pretty pacey forwards. So not letting them turn, it just allows them, Hobart, not to have to get in a foot race with one of them.
Paige Welch drives one up the right side, trying to find O'Donnell. It comes down to Havala, and a foul against Havala is called. Mentioned in the open that these teams played out in Berkeley a year ago. Last September the 15th, Cal was ranked number 17 at the time, and they won that game 2-0. And Miranda Nilde, who's playing today, scored a goal in that game. But the Sooners played down a player for 79 minutes. Madeline Brim drew a red card. Surely not the mild-mannered Madeline Brim.
I'm so surprised.
I bet she was too.
I'm sure she was. Brim was a great player. I really enjoyed getting to play with her.
Up the right flank, Rivas gets a pass from McMahon, but she slips down in the 18 box. Trying to regain it, it's taken by Caroline Clark of Cal. That might have been a shot on goal for Rivas, but it looked like she just lost her footing in there after getting a good pass from McMahon.
And again, McMahon's ability to see the field and know where the space is and that opportunity there and know that Rivas would be there. Just a great job by McMahon to have that vision.
Sooners will get a throw in on the near side from Olivia Smith. Drops it in at the feet of McMahon in the left corner, surrounded by 3 Golden Bears. And Cal plays it out of bounds. Oh, they say it goes off McMahon. We had a pretty good view on that. That looked like it was off the Bears. But Cal will get the throw in. Throw in angles toward Fong, who weaves between a couple of Sooners. And then Ledbetter comes to send it the other way for the Sooners. Now a long hit ahead by Kohler. Nobody home on the other end of this one. And it rolls back to McKinley Crone, the Sooner keeper. Ledbetter jogs to the ball up the right sideline. Plays a deep ball toward O'Donnell, but it's a little too deep. And the Golden Bears will let this roll out of bounds for a goal kick.
A little too deep by Ledbetter, but that's exactly the ball that she needs to be playing because it is deep enough to get over the back line. So just if O'Donnell is more prepared for that, to chase it down, I think that's the right idea by Ledbetter.
So Zudikov will take the goal kick. High into the air, headed toward midfield. Paige Welch sends it the other way for the Sooners. Now settling it is Mateer, but it's out of bounds off of Mateer, and the Sooners will throw it in. There has not been much activity on the Sooner half of the field for the last 8 minutes or so.
And that was kind of a big change because the first couple of minutes I felt like Cal was really kind of dominating the possession game. But the Sooners have worked and stayed consistent and made that turn.
You know, that's something Matt Potter will be very excited about, the early adjustments that this team makes. And they've gotten better at it as the season has gone on.
And they really have. And in Sunday games, it's always kind of hard to start out as well as they did on Friday night, just because you are a little bit more fatigued. You're usually more excited for Friday night games too. So it really is a mental process to prepare to be on your game on Sunday. But the Sooners have made that adjustment today after starting out somewhat flat. So good job for the Sooners.
Sooners able to deflect a Cal attack out of bounds. Olivia Smith has to jog over and get the ball out of the grass. And now she readies a Sooner throw in. Olivia Smith, valuable experience with the English national team. Was away for 3 matches as Christina O'Donnell gets tangled up at midfield with Anya Kohler. O'Donnell goes down but is called for a foul. So a Cal free kick comes. Sooners, though, able to take it away. And Cal has to clear it all the way back to the keeper, Zodikov. "22 minutes in, we have no score. Sooners have gotten away 2 shots. The Golden Bears just 1. Cal has been the more defensive team here in this opening half. Sooners trying to press the attack, but Cal has possession. Fong to midfield. And now Fong gets a return pass, trying to work her way across midfield, but nobody is there. Pass intercepted by Paige Welch. Sooners can't connect, though, and the Golden Bears take it away. Here's Paige Mateer trying to send one deep, and instead Olivia Smith intercepts and works it back to her keeper, Crone, who drives it back the other way. Ball ricochets out to Dow. Dow toward O'Donnell on the right sideline. Christina able to save it from going out of bounds. Works her way around a defender nicely, tight roping the right sideline. Tries to play a ball ahead for Rivas. Rivas cannot quite chase it down. Abby Kim kept her from getting to that one. It'll be a goal kick for Cal.
And you have to love the creativity from O'Donnell to try to pass the ball around the defender there. That's what makes her so fun to watch. She's so interested in getting forward and taking on players and crossing the ball. I really like to see that kind of creativity with the ball.
So Zodikov sends a goal kick out toward midfield. Cal is going to keep possession and try to organize. And a ball is driven out of bounds at midfield. Christina O'Donnell trying to tightrope the sideline. Meg has more on the Sooner junior.
Chad, as Christina O'Donnell really entered her junior year, she said it was time to make a change and stick up for herself as of late, receiving some yellow cards this season, but wants to keep being aggressive, needs to be smarter, always wanting to keep all players in a game. So a yellow card every once in a while is fine, but just not every game.
Not every game, that's right. She was sent off with 2 yellow cards in a game earlier this season. But Christina is such a vocal demonstrative player. She's important and needs to be pointed in the right direction, Matt Potter says.
She is, and I love how feisty she is. And I know that sometimes she draws fouls that are not in a good position, and you're kind of thinking, oh, she probably shouldn't have fouled there. But at the same time, a lot can be said from the fouls that she makes. They're always hard fouls. They're aggressive, and I think that they can kind of initiate a team confidence going forward.
The ball ricochets off the foot of Miranda Niled just inside the Sooners' 18 box. McKinley Crone has to come up and pick it up. That got a little dangerous at the end. And Miranda Niled's a very dangerous player, member of Thailand's women's national team. In fact, she helped them qualify for the 2019 Women's World Cup. So they'll be involved in that. And Miranda Niled was a part of it, has a goal this season and 10 career goals. She scored against Oklahoma a year ago, the game winner. Bears on the attack. But Fong is shut down by Paige Welch. Welch drives it out of the box, but it's picked up by Devin Lozano. Lozano works her way in toward Olivia Smith, and it's out of bounds off of Smith. A Cal throw-in coming.
And again, we're just really good 1v1 defending from Smith in the corner here. Just the ability of her to remain composed in open space like that, where really the attacker has anywhere to go. She shuts her down and really points her in the direction that Smith wants her to go to make it more predictable for Smith to get the ball.
Go, go! Go right! Go right!
The ball ricochets out toward midfield. Cal regroups. But a pass by Kohler was stolen and now rolls out of bounds off of the Golden Bears. Sooner throw-in coming.
Hold it! Hold it! Let it shuttle. Go ahead, let's go. Taylor, get a touch! Get a touch!
Sooners throw-in. It comes to Rivas. And she plays a touch pass over to Davidson, who drives one across the field. Headed out by the Golden Bears. No score. 18-20 remaining here in the opening half. Kaylee Dow is a little touch pass to Lauren Havala. And now it's O'Donnell. O'Donnell works around one defender. Physically keeps possession. Drops it over to Havala. And Havala back to midfield for Emma Ledbetter now. Ledbetter finds Kaylee Dow. She tried to work one over to O'Donnell, but it's stolen away by Cal. And now at midfield, taken by Niled. Up the right flank on the attack for Cal is Lozano. Lozano able to find Kim. Nicely done by McMahon. Playing it forward to a running Haley Davidson. Davidson tries to work her way between a pair of defenders, but she's rooted off the ball. And Lozano steals it. Now back on the Sooner side, Welch will send it back to Crone. Sooner keeper drives it out of trouble. Havala comes to get it for the Sooners and finds O'Donnell with a pass at midfield. O'Donnell long for Rivas on the 18 box. She's bounced around by Adu. Back to O'Donnell now. To Rivas. Rivas on the right wing. Starts and stops, trying to go around Adu. Sends it across. McMahon backheel pass and a score by Haley Davidson. What a wonderful backheel touch pass that was. And the Sooners take a 1-0 lead.
And really such a great job by Davidson to be patient on this on the backside of the goal here. A great job by Rivas again, just always getting involved. McMahon tries to flick it a little bit. She ends up really just dummying the ball. And so it kind of tricks everyone. And Davidson being disciplined enough to stay on the back post and ready and strong enough to put this ball in the back of the net. She's had a pretty quiet half so far. So awesome job by Davidson there to make something happen.
She's a playmaker. That is her third goal as a Sooner. And Davidson, the A&M game that Meg referred to just a short time ago, she actually broke the scoreless streak for Texas A&M last week. They had not allowed a goal until Haley Davidson scored against them. And Davidson has the Sooners on the board here. 1-0.
And really, that's quite the accomplishment for Davidson, a freshman, to break a streak like that against such a storied program in women's soccer history.
Now the Golden Bears attack, trying to find the equalizer. A run in by Collins, trying to send it in, but it's deflected out. So Cal picks up its offensive tempo. They will get a corner kick from Miranda Nilde at the far post.
And these are obviously the situations where it's so important for the Sooners to remain focused and have those vocal leaders out there, Welch, Hobart, and Crone, to make sure everyone's marked up.
McMahon did get an assist on that goal, though, as you said, I'm not sure she ever touched it.
I think I honestly would have given it to Rivas, but I'm okay with giving it to McMahon as well because she did have some part in playing a little bit of a dummy role.
Jordan Hobart just took one square in the nose as Sydney Collins was trying to cross a ball from the right wing for the Golden Bears. And it goes out of bounds off of Hobart, who's pinching her nose now, trying to make sure that no blood comes out. And trying to collect her senses and direct traffic in front of the Sooner goal on this goal kick or corner kick from the near post. Driven all the way across the goal. Up high to try to get ahead on it was Kohler for Cal, and the Sooners are able to clear it out of bounds. Well, the Sooners as a team are well ahead of record pace as far as goal scoring is concerned. That is their 16th of the season. You see the school record 37, and they're on pace to better that by 10. Wow.
And what an adjustment, really, that the Sooners have made this year from last year, where goals maybe didn't come as often. That was something they really probably focused on in the off season, and it's really made the team so much more exciting and fun to watch. And I know for them, it's such an accomplishment.
We can see now blood is coming from the nose of Jordan Hobart, so she has to exit this game. And the Sooners get wholesale substitutions in. Erica Yost, good to see her back out there. Been battling a little bit of a tender leg. Did not play on Friday. Scored a goal against Illinois State, so Yost is in there now.
And really such a great player to bring in at this moment with the clock winding down in the first half. Yost, easily one of my most favorite players to watch on this team. She plays similar to Davidson. She's really pacey. She likes to chase after the ball, and she likes to shoot, and she has a good shot.
And right there, Yost's speed forces Cal to just deflect the ball out of bounds as Megan Riley, who's also in, was trying to get one forward for Yost. Sooners throw in. Dow drops it back for Haley Davidson. Davidson toward the top of the 18 box. Headed by Cal's Emily Smith, who's back in the lineup now. Emily Smith, a very talented player, but missed last weekend due to injury. Didn't play Friday in Stillwater, but this is a very good sophomore. She's been a member of U.S. national teams.
And I like the adjustment that the Sooners have made since Hobart has gone out. What Coach Potter did was he just slipped Olivia Smith into being a center back. And then Davidson is now playing more defensive in that outside back position. And that just speaks to the versatility of both of those players, Olivia Smith and Davidson, to take on these two different roles.
Sooners lead 1-0. Third goal of the season by Haley Davidson. And Oklahoma throws it in front of the Cal bench over on the far side. Emma Ledbetter, such a consistent player. And as Matt Potter is fond of saying, consistency is a talent.
She's done such a good job this season. And really, she's more of a central player. And I think I originally liked her playing centrally better, but every game she's gotten better with this outside back position. She anticipates the passes well to attacking players, and she intercepts them a lot of times. So she's done good, and I think the back line has gotten comfortable with having her back there.
And you don't want to miss at halftime Meg's feature on Emma Ledbetter and her mom Kara and their connection to the Hall of Fame OU women's basketball coach Sherry Cole. So stay tuned for that. Deep ball for Yost up the left flank. Nicely played by Riley. Yost sends it in. Rivas attacking the goal. Gets knocked down at the goal box. The Sooners send one in with Yost that's deflected away. No foul call. Well, that was an aggressive play by two Cal defenders. And the Golden Bears are able to clear it now toward midfield.
And again, this is where the Sooners are exploiting these wide spaces that Cal is leaving open. That was Riley that time who acknowledged that open space and found Yost. And such a good job of Yost to find Rivas. And Rivas is really the player you want to get the ball to in the box because she has such a controlled first touch. And she can kind of beat a player really well and then just take a quick shot off. But really, it was an aggressive tackle. I was kind of surprised it wasn't called.
Here is Tovey with it. She scored her first goal as a Sooner back on Friday night. Left the game with an injury, so good to see her back out there today. Cal able to take it away and clear it across the Sooner side. Golden Bears with possession. Anya Kohler at midfield. And now Caroline Clark sends it up the left sideline, but the Sooners intercept. Yost at midfield has it for Oklahoma. Now it's Tovey on the right sideline, organizing the Sooner attack. Tovey trying to work her way around a Cal defender. Golden Bears take it away as Luca Deza was able to get it back for Cal. Now it's Deza, the left sideline, sending it all the way across to the foot of Sydney Collins on the right side. 10 minutes remaining, opening half, 1-0 Sooners. Oklahoma looking for back-to-back wins and looking for their third win at home this season. John Crane Field has been kind to Oklahoma. Sooners also have a tie with Gonzaga here. Emma Ledbetter will take an Oklahoma throw in deep back in the Oklahoma end. Ledbetter waiting for players to circle around. Cal intercepts the throw in. Caroline Clark sends it into the Oklahoma 18 box where it's headed out by Olivia Smith. Cal regroups at midfield. Abina Adu has it for Cal into the midfield area for Kohler. Now Caroline Clark near the Sooner 18 box for Niled. Back it comes for Adu. Adu tries a left-footed shot from way outside the 18 box, and it one hops into the arms of Sooner keeper McKinley Crone.
And I like the decision by Adu there to get a shot off. It's been pretty quiet for shots as far as Cal goes, so kind of a good idea by Adu to see if she can catch Crone, maybe not paying attention, but unfortunately for Cal, that doesn't happen very much for Crone.
We've alluded to the series history between these two teams a couple of times. It's the second ever meeting. Series history is presented by Pizza Hut. When OU wins, you win free pizza. Visit Soonersports.com/Pizza Hut for details. Last year, out in Berkeley, 2-0. Cal able to win that one. Told you the Sooners played down a player for the final 79 minutes. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Miranda Niled got an early goal for Cal, and then Emma Weston scored for the Golden Bears with just 28 seconds left in that game. So think about that. You go 79 minutes to a top 15 team at the time and give up only one goal. That was a pretty remarkable defensive effort by the Sooners in that loss.
It sounds like it was probably a great performance by the Sooners. I'm sure they came off the field pretty tired.
Yeah.
Don't cry! Keep it there!
7:30 remaining. Emma Ledbetter turns and tries to attack the goal. Ball is cleared out, but to Paige Welch. And now Jordan Hobart is back in for the Sooners. Welch at midfield, driving it across to the right side.
Keep her there, Caroline! Don't stand!
Davidson laying it forward for Havala, but it's intercepted by Nia Corbin, who's entered the lineup for Cal. Corbin out of Maple Valley, Washington. Has played with Abby Kim since the time they were 10 years old. She passes to Kim at midfield. Dow drives one deep into the right corner, but a little too deep. Will roll out of bounds. Trying to work that one forward for Haley Davidson. So a Cal throw-in coming from Caroline Clark. Or will she drop it as she's going to be substituted for? Neil McGuire and Matt Potter, the two head coaches, good friends. They have coached with each other at the club level about 20 years ago, and then against one another. First when McGuire was head coach at Cal and Matt Potter was head coach at Washington State. And now Matt Potter here at Oklahoma. They go against one another again.
Yeah, number 6. Number 6. Page 24. If it gets in the box, you guys are touching
Emma
someone.
Ledbetter throws it in. And the Cal end with 6 minutes left in the opening half to Rivas at the top of the 18 box. She tried to squeeze off the shot, but it's deflected. Comes to Megan Riley. Wide now. It's sent toward Rivas in the 18 box. Headed just wide of the goal.
And a good opportunity again for the Sooners. I like the numbers, the number of Sooners that are getting into the box. You had both Rivas there, who didn't quite get her head on it as well as she could have, and I almost would have liked to see Yost maybe call her off there, because it looked like Yost had maybe had a better opportunity for this ball, but still you have to love the endeavor of Rivas to want to score there.
Davidson able to play that one in. And almost finding a clean header from Rivas. Abby Kim working toward midfield for Cal. Olivia Smith, though, rides her off the ball, and then a foul call on Abby Kim. And nicely done by Smith. What a difference she makes these last 2 games.
A really, really great 1v1 defending there, and a good call by the ref to see that. I think it was would have been a little bit difficult to see Kim grabbing on Smith's shorts there, but it was a great defensive play by Olivia Smith, and it looks like she would have handled the ball after that foul, even if it hadn't have been called.
So on the foul call, just the second of the game against Cal. And McKinley Crone, the Sooner keeper, comes all the way to midfield to take this free kick. Rides it in between the goal box and the 18 box. Headed away. And the Golden Bears clear it. Out to the foot of Jordan Elliott. Sooners take it back, though. Ledbetter. Now it's headed to Kim at midfield. She circles back. Drops it off to Adu. Adu and Kim touch it back and forth. Kim into the midfield for Mia Corbin now. Pass that went past about 3 players. Finally, Jordan Hobart redirects it toward the Cal end. It comes down to Havala. Havala will work her way up the right side, but loses the ball out of bounds. And Potter directing his players from the Sooners sideline with a 1-0 lead and 3:30 remaining in the opening half. Kim and Adu touch it back and forth, but really going nowhere with this. A lot of passing in close quarters, but not much activity for the Golden Bears.
Right, and anytime you're passing in close quarters, it just makes it easier for the Sooners to defend, especially in that sequence just then. There were 3 Sooner defenders in that area, and they continued to make those small passes where it's just easy to cover that ground.
Kaylee Dow with a nice poke away from Corbin. Takes it for the Sooners. Dow gets a return pass at midfield. Angles left, around a defender, trying to work it ahead for Rivas, but stolen nicely by Collins. Dow gets it back for the Sooners near midfield. Works it over for Ledbetter, and now Welch. Oklahoma back to the other side of the field now. Hobart drives one toward Rivas, the Cal side, but it's headed down by Sydney Collins. And here come the Golden Bears. A long pass ahead by Deza that rolls all the way back to McKinley Crone. 2 minutes remaining here in the opening half. McKinley Crone just dribbling the ball back in the Sooner 18th box, pounding it into the turf. Now Crone will dribble it out, drive it up the right sideline. Look at Deza gaining control for the Sooner, or I should say for the Golden Bears. Now Now Ledbetter steals a pass, and Hobart clears it to midfield. Kinley Crone, left-footed, drives it away from her goal. A contested header. Ball falls down to the foot of Kim. Tries to send it toward the Oklahoma 18 box, but Paige Welch sends it away. Now Corbin, left-footed strike along the ground, rolls into the arms of Crone.
And a good chance here for the Sooners to regroup and move the team up the field. Nothing real threatening by Cal, but still just constant under pressure for the Sooner defense there.
Crone kicks one sailing across midfield. 40 seconds remaining here in the opening half. 1-0. Oklahoma leads Cal. Sooners off a 4-1 win over San Francisco right here back on Friday night. Kim up the right flank, 30 seconds left opening half. Sends one across. A shot is deflected. Back down to Elliott it comes. She sends one toward the Sooner goal, and this one is deflected out of bounds by Welch. So a Cal corner kick from the near post with 15 seconds left in the opening half.
And a huge set piece for Cal to have here at the last couple seconds going into halftime.
5 seconds remaining. Corbin gets the corner kick away over everyone's head, sent toward the Sooner goal and in, but had time expired.
Oh.
Let's see what the clock says.
I think they've called it a goal.
It is a goal. So a goal scored as time expires on the opening half. It is 1-1.
And just a really great corner kick by Cal, and just the constant, you know, it kind of looks like the Sooners stopped defending almost, like maybe they had thought time was up, but no one was on the Cal attacker that scored the goal.
Mia Corbin gets credit for the goal. It's one apiece. No time here on the first half clock. And the Sooners will just put this in motion, and then we will head to the locker room. So Mia Corbin, credit for the goal. It was tough to tell because Luca Dezza was right in front of the Sooner keeper, McKinley Crone. But Corbin gets credit for the goal, and we have a 1-1 tie. And the Sooners felt good about the first half. The one set piece at the end, though, will certainly stick with them in the halftime locker room. Haley Davidson scored for the Sooners in the 29th minute. And then in the 45th minute, it's Mia Corbin finding the back of the net. Corbin came on late in that first half, had a couple of assists in the first 2 games of the season. And she's able to drive one in, and Meg is standing by with Sooner head coach Matt Potter.
Chad, thanks. Haley Davidson, just a freshman, has really had some big moments here this season. What have you been impressed with the most by her?
Well, her fearlessness. You know, she's brave enough to put herself in the heat of the fire. She wants the ball. And when she gets the ball, we're seeing good things are happening.
What do you want to see in the second half, Coach?
Well, I'm disappointed not to go in the half, obviously, holding on to the lead, which I felt we deserved after we weathered the first 15 minutes. But we're going to have to be willing to go through that pain that's necessary to win on Sundays. And we've got more than talent to do it, so we'll see how it goes.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Chad.
All right, thanks, Meg. Thanks to Coach Matt Potter. Let's correct this. The goal has been credited now to Miranda Nilde. So Nilde officially gets the goal in the 45th minute to give us a tie game, headed to the locker room. It's overcast, but it's cool in Norman, and we've had a good first half of activity. Coming up, Meg with a feature on the Sooners' Emma Ledbetter, her mom Kara, and their connection to Sooner Hall of Fame women's basketball coach Sherry Cole. Sooner Soccer is presented by Bud Light.